Hello everybody. Today I just thought I would make a couple of little mini stitcheries, just playing around. I have some linen and this is just from an old bed sheet. It's nice quality. I just cut the edge pieces off where a sheet might wear thin in the center. The edges are still really nice and they've got that thickness to them, so they're quite good to be using. And I haven't really got much of a plan. I thought I'd just play. So I'm just getting a couple of shapes. And I'm going to be using the beads that I received from Beebeecraft. I've sort of had the idea for quite some time for my down the garden path. So, I've got ideas sort of floating around in my head for that, but not these. These are just something I thought I'd play with today. So these are no specific size, it's just whatever size the fabric was, and I'm just folding it in half like that so it's double thickness, and it just gives me a nice little starting place. I kind of have these bits of fabric left over from something else, so I'm just using those. Oh, just got warm. Hang on, I just need to take my scarf around my neck because it was cold and now I'm getting a bit warm. Okay, so I'm going to use what I have laying around. They've been leftovers from my journal of stitchery, but on the side of my desk here I have a little container and all my scraps of, say, like translucent type things, mesh, and things I've been working with. Like, that's really beautiful, that is. I kind of pop in here, and that way they're easy to grab if I'm working on a journal or something like that. And what I thought is, like, I didn't really think, but what you can do is just start, seeing what you've got laying around and playing like that. That looks all right there, although it might be better off that way, I'm thinking. Maybe we'll try that on that one. There's some white on white there. The white probably doesn't look good on the white, but it would look all right layered over that. I really like this one, but I don't have a lot of that in here. And what I do have, they're all very narrow. This one here is a bit thicker. I'm trying to remember the garment. I ripped it off. Okay, we can put that one like that. That mesh doesn't rip great, if I recall, so I will trim it a bit with the scissors. Okay. There's also this kind. This one's really nice as well. We could use a bit of that. I'm not sure I like that on the angle, like that, very much. Maybe it could go that way. Well, no. Oh, I know. Maybe I could have it like that. That could work. Okay, that one and that one. Take that off a bit there as well. Okay, also got this one. Do I have a large piece? What's that? Oh, I like that. That's from a wedding veil, that is. Let's see, it's really... Is it from a... No, it's not. It's actually from the rolled of tulle, and it's just been pulled and stretched, and it gives it that real old look. I could... This is a remnant from my last roll of tulle, and I think that actually came from Beebeecraft as well. Let's see if that's big enough. I could put that there, like that. I like that with the little scrunched edge there. I'm just playing it as I go along here. Kind of like the double thickness. Maybe I'll do that. And then put that. I might not need that now. What about a bit of this green? That's off a scarf. A bit of green there. Down the bottom. Like that. Like that. Like that. Like that. Keep those over there. Might need a little bit more on there. Like that. Oh, whoops. Like that. Perhaps. I don't think. Is it? Maybe we'll use a skinny piece. I just want a slight. That might be better. Like that. Oh. Fingers are dry. Things stick to it. Like that. Like that. Oops, I'm out of shot. I am sorry. There we go. How's that? Just sort of like that. Got this one here, like, which is a little bit different. I don't know what we're going to do here. Let's have a think, because that's only quite light, isn't it? Could be. No, does that show it off a bit? It does. It does. To see if I have a thicker piece of that. I've only got really skinny pieces. I'll have a whole little piece there like that I've made before. Okay, maybe a bit of, oh hang on, there's a thicker piece. Maybe I can put that there like that. That. we'll patch it a little bit there. Okay. And perhaps it will be fine like that. There. And I need a bit more green. That's a different one, that one. Where did I get all my green? Why have I got some seam binding in there? I need some more green. Oh, there's not enough of that one, is there? Trying to think where I got that from. Oh, might be in my bag. Yeah. I've got, oh, here we go. What's that? Oh, is that the same? That's not the same, but it may do. What's this? Hang on, I found it. It's off a scarf, see? Got it in my down the garden path bag. Okay, so see where I've just been kind of ripping away at it at the end here. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, that will do fine there, and I can use a bit of there and there for a bit more texture perhaps, like that. Okay, something like that. And these are just going to be little stitcheries, like I said before. I'll just put those away. I'm trying to keep myself fairly tidy. See, I like this. This is, I bought this years ago online. And when it came, I wasn't very happy with it because I wanted it for something else. It wasn't, you can't rip it because it's this funny nylon stuff. When you rip it, see how it goes all like that? Yeah, it's like a laddered stocking or something like that. But I like the colour of it. I really do. I'm thinking might be able to just use some little pieces of that pink because it's ever so pretty. Just cutting that fuzzy bit off. It's not going to work. Right, let's see, we might be able to use those in here. There's a little bit of pink as well. Okay, perhaps a bit of lace would be pretty. Some old lace. What do you think what I've got? I'm mainly kind of trying to just use the scraps. See how I've got these little bits here. I'm just not sure that's the right kind of lace that I want to use. Let me think. Close that up. Let me just move that back a little bit. There you go. That way you can see better. I've been keeping my lavish laces in this lovely little container, and it's been great because see how the book fits in here as well, and then I've got the larger pieces here and all the smaller pieces in here, and it's really good because see I can get this whole book in there and it still zips up. It's perfect. So I'm just thinking if one of these laces, because these are beautiful, may do the trick. I'm sort of thinking, see, this is really nice, but there's also this sort of thing. Let me think. Oh, but that's that beautiful little one, but I think that might be just a little bit too pristine looking for what I'm after. I'm thinking a bit of this might work. I don't need a lot, I just want little bits. Like, something like that on there might look really pretty. It doesn't have to be really big at all. It can just be a little bit. Even just tucked in. Like that. This one's got sequins on, so I'll probably remove the sequins. Isn't it funny, you know, we go through stages where we want all the sequins in the world, want all the sparkle on everything, and then all of a sudden we think, I don't really want sparkle. But they're easy enough to put on and take off. So, and I just put them over there, so if I do want a sparkle on something, I can just take it. Something like that, maybe. Maybe. Right. Like that. Yeah. That could work. Okay. Okay. All right. Put that away. And now what I'm going to do is, see how that just closes so easily. I love that. What I'm going to do now is invisible stitch those on. Firstly, I need to put a few little pins in to hold everything in place roughly, just so I can stitch it. I'm just using these lovely little applique pins that are so handy for things like that. I'll just pop a bigger one. And I'm not worried about it being wrinkled or anything like that. Okay, so just something like that. And I'll do the same for these, and I will just invisible stitch them on. And all invisible stitching is getting a needle and thread and taking a very small stitch at the front of the piece and a larger one at the back. I'll just go and do that, and then I'll be back. Okay, so they're all done. You can see a couple little stitches every so often, but that's quite all right. It's like a slow stitch type thing. I've just pulled out my green embroidery threads and thought I would just do a few stalks going up now in a couple of different colours. Got that one there, that one's all right. There's also that one which is slightly lighter. I don't have a huge variety of embroidery threads. I mean, I have nice kind of variety. That one's quite nice too, in a slightly lighter colour, so I can play with those ones, I think. Okay, need a needle. Let's start with the darker one, and I'll just use probably a 3 strands. I've been, what day is it today? It's Thursday today. I've been quite busy this week doing things that aren't crafty. So, not, you know, stuff you want to be doing, but things that need doing in general for living. So, it's nice to be in the craft room today. Oh my goodness, come on. There we go. We got it. I'm just catching up with things and sorting out and doing some cleaning, and I need to get rid of some stuff. We all love stuff, but I get overwhelmed. I work better if I haven't got too much stuff around me, I feel. So not just craft stuff, but in general, you know, I don't need a lot of things in my home. It makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Okay, so I'm just going to do some stalks, and on this one, see how you can lift up the green? I'm going to start it under the green. So I think I'm just going to do a few. I don't know what kind of flowers these are going to be, but there'll be something. Okay. So I'm just going to do a variety of these in the 3 different colours that I chose. I won't do any flowers, I don't think, until I've done the different threads, so I'll do that on there and finish it off, and then I'll move to the next one and use the same thread and then do the same thing in a different colour. So I could do one over here too, but I don't want to. I can always add one a little bit later. These are not a great quality thread, this one, but it's okay. It's what I have. So, and on this one, I might. Okay, I'm back, and that's what they look like so far. I think they look really quite nice. What I have done is I've also done a little running stitch on parts of the background, if you can see that. I've added the 3 different colours of the embroidery thread as well, and everything has been held down in place. So now I'm going to add some flowers. What I thought I would do, these little bits that I cut before, I thought they're very pretty colour, so they might work quite nicely. I'll get a nice pair of sharp scissors and I'm just trying to work out how I'm going to do this, whether this will work or not, because it's actually a different type of fabric. It might do. I basically just want to do some little flowers using this, but I'm not sure whether this will hold its shape very well, that's all. So I may just have to try one first. I'm going to double it over, and I'm going to leave it in a square shape at the moment. And see if it works. Let's have a look. Okay, so I just need a little bit of thread. Take that out. I can probably put all the green ones away now. And what I'm going to use, I'm going to be using some of the lovely beads from Beebeecraft. And I just have to make sure my needle goes through. I'm sure it will. There's a lovely yellow one that might work nicely. Actually, not that one. Let me show you the beautiful colours in here. I think that one will work really nice. Aren't they gorgeous? I'll put on the screen exactly what these beads are. And these are glass beads. They're so pretty. And this one is this gold colour. It's really pretty. I think it will be perfect for what I want without being too bright. I don't know. Oh, it does. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to use this needle. And it's really nice to add a little bit of beading to your work. It just gives it another texture. I'm actually going to double my thread for this, I think, just so that I don't have to put too many stitches in, but it will hold the bead in place as well. Let me move all these so that I don't get tangled up. Okay, so, and I know that looks big and I know that looks strange because it's square, but just bear with me for a moment. It may work. I'm just going to come up in the center of that, like that, and I'm just going to maneuver it just a little bit, grabbing both layers and then putting it back down, just so it creates something like that. Okay. And then I can open it up a little bit, bring my needle back up through, take my bead and pop it in the center. Again like that. And that's what we have. I'm just going to do a little knot at the back of that, so it won't come undone or anything, or so it doesn't relax too much as well. I want it to stay quite tight to keep that flower folded over. So I'm doing that, but I'm not going to cut the thread. I can come over here to the next flower I'm going to do. And I won't be doing them all the same, but I'll do this one the same. And it's not like perfect square. I've just sort of, you can do, but it doesn't really matter. And just putting that in the center like that, and doing the same sort of thing again. I'm just laying it like that, but then getting my needle and kind of trying not to catch the other one, just moving it over a little bit as I do it, and it kind of grabs it and folds it a little bit and bunches it up in the center like that, bringing my needle back up, getting myself another bead, putting it on. Like that. I mean, you could leave them like that. You don't have to trim them up afterwards. They look kind of cute the way they are. And then just putting another knot in the back here. Like that. And then I think I might... I'll do something different down here. I kind of want to put some green ones around here. So, let me just... One way to have a look is just to put a couple on there, you know, to see if that's the right colour and the right effect that you want. Like that. But what I'm going to do is I don't particularly want those ones shiny. There we go. So I have the other beautiful set from Beebeecraft also. And there's these lovely green beads in here. And I quite like these ones on the greenery. I think they work really well. And just a little splattering around of them. I love that effect. So that's what I'm going to do. And just sort of do exactly the same sort of thing. I can just come down here like that. Grab myself a bead. And back in, and hopefully that white thread won't show too much. I'm wondering whether I might have to just, I'm thinking maybe just a single thread. We'll see. And I'm not going to do them in a straight line. I'm just going to add a green bead every so often. Okay, so that bead doesn't fit through there. I'm not going to get rid of it because it will fit a smaller needle. But for this particular project, I need it to fit this needle. And that's the, you get that in beads sometimes, not all beads are the same width. That one fits fine. Okay, and so I can put a couple close together if I want. It's a good idea to take a few out so we don't have to worry too much. There we go. There we go. So can you see how those little green ones? And I'm just going to splash those around every so often, just to add a little bit of texture to the grassy area. Every so often I'll probably do a knot on the back of my piece. Just so that if the thread does break or something, at least some of them will stay on. I do a little knot and then usually a little stitch as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same sort of thing on the other ones, and then I'll be back. So I'm just adding another flower to the piece, and what I decided to use was some green thread on the green fabric. I did change the thread. I thought it would look a lot better on the greenery. And using a fine needle. I'm still using a double thread. And so on these little stems here, they're like a little arrow really. I'm coming in at the top of them to one side and adding a bead. To like it lays on one side of the thread, and then coming up in the center again, getting another bead and putting it towards this side, the opposite side of the stalk, and then I'm coming up like here, I'm coming up above the stalk like that, and putting one at the top as well, and then stitching it in between the other two so that we end up with a little 3 beaded flower there. And then I'll do a knot. I'll knot it off at the back. And the other one's fairly close, so I can just come over here and do the same thing on this flower. I did, although I started those little green beads and I left the lighter colour thread on it, I did change it. I decided to change it. I may go back and change the original ones as well, but on the other two, I decided to use the green thread, which makes a lot more sense. I don't know why I didn't do that to start with. Okay, so a nice little beaded flower. Very simple to do, but quite effective. It's nice to add a little bit of beading to your work. we go. Another little flower there. And I think they're very pretty the way they've turned out. I'll just finish that one. Those back in the beads there. So I have the 3 different little pieces there. I think they're very sweet. I'll just show you. This one's a bit more wispy, and that's quite all right. So we have the tulle over the linen fabric. I've done a running stitch, some slow stitching on the background up the top there. I've done the stitches for the stems and grasses and things. I've used the beautiful Beebeecraft beading in the little flower centers and for the flowers themselves, and I've also used little green beads going through the grass as well. I've used a lovely little piece of lace, and that was from Lavish Laces, and the green, it's like an organza fabric, just a couple of layered bits on there. And I think they're just lovely. I think they're great. You could use them on the front of a card. You could use them as a tag. You could even use it on the front of a small journal. I just think it's really simple and effective. And it's a nice project to do in between other projects. Like I don't need to be using these straight away. But I know if I do a garden journal or a floral journal or something, these will fit right in with that theme. So there we go. And I'll show you another one I made. And this was the original one I put together. And this is for my Down the Garden path. Just a moment. Okay, so this is the little one I started making when I first started doing the volume 3. You can see I've used the same fabrics that I used on my background here with the lace, and also I've used the pencils, the watercolor pencils, to give that lovely, dimensional effect. And so what I've done here is just added some of the little gold beads in there as well to tie in with my my Down the Garden path. And I'm looking at it now, and I may put one taller flower or something on this side here. But we haven't finished the project yet, so we'll see what happens there. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial for these lovely little beaded embroideries. I thoroughly enjoyed doing it, and like I said, a perfect little project in between projects or to add to a current project using wonderful beads from Beebeecraft. I almost forgot. I received this beautiful little jewellery making kit from Beebeecraft also, and inside of it has all these little fixtures and things to make earrings. What I love about it is these beautiful fabric butterflies, and they come in about 4 different colours and 2 different sizes, and they're perfect for these tiny little stitcheries. So I'll just pop those back, and I did think about adding these before and it completely slipped my mind. They're so delicate. I've added a couple to my Down the Garden path already, and I just think they're really lovely. They're made out of like an organza fabric. What colour is that one? So we have like a purpley colour, grey, blue, pink, and it's got yellow in with the pink. So a couple of variations of the one colour. It also has these lovely glass crystals, and then the jump rings in 2 different sizes. the eye pins and also these curved pieces to make, you know, to like a half swirl for the earrings. It has the earring hooks. It also has a couple of different sizes, circles and diamond shapes in there as well. I do take that out in my in the video where I received it and show them in full. But what I thought I would do is add one to the Little Stitchery. And it's really easy to do. Just choose the size you want and where you want to put it. I have a double thread in grey. I'm just trying to match the colour of the body. And I've knotted the end, and I'm just going to come up inside, just so I've caught the middle part, and then take it down to the end into the fabric there. So I've got one little stitch in it, and then I'll come back through again, and I'm coming up just above the butterfly, and it's like doing a little back stitch. And I'm going to, actually that one I can take that completely over the edge, because the first stitch I actually caught it twice, so that's good. As long as I've got, like, it's caught it twice, that's fine. There we go. So now I have a little butterfly on my stitchery. So isn't that pretty? So that's that one. And I've already stitched it on these ones. That one. That one. And that one. And I think that finishes them off beautifully. So there you go. Little stitcheries with beading and butterflies. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Bye.